everyone, welcome back to Story Time with me. So to conclude our day about Earth Day, what better to I have a really cute book that I would like to read to you all. This one's called the Lorax right there. It's all about trees in this one, just like Henry's Forest. So today's story is going to be The Lorax by Dr. Seuss. So without further ado, let's get on with the story. At the far end of town where the grickle grass grows and the wind smells slow and sour where it blows and no birds ever sing except old crows, this is the street of lifted Lorax. So as you can see right here, look, there is nothing right there. See, there's the sign, lifted Lorax. There's a little boy crossing on the path. And deep in the grickle grass, some people say if you look deep enough, you can still see today where the Lorax once stood, just as thought as it could before somebody lifted the Lorax away. What was the Lorax, and why was it there? And why was it lifted and taken somewhere far and a town where the grickle grass grows? The old Wurstler still lives here. Ask him, he knows. See right there, the little boy's wondering what happened here. So what's going on? And so let's find out what happens. You won't see the Wunschler. Don't knock at his door. He stays in his lurking on top of his store. He lurks in his lurking cold under the roof where he makes his own clothes out of muffled moof. And on special dank midnights in August, he peeks out of the shutters and sometimes he speaks and tells how the Lorax was lifted away. He'll tell you perhaps if you're willing to pay. See there's the Wunschler right there, peeking through the blinds. So let's see what happens. On the end of a rope, he lets down a tin pail, and you have to toss in 15 cents and a nail in the shell of a great grandfather snail. And see, look, that's what the boy's throwing into this pot, as you can see. Then he pulls up the pail, makes the most careful count to see if you paid him the proper amount. Then he hides what you paid him away in his snuff. He secret strange hole in his gruffle glove. Then he grunts, "I will call you by the whisper phone for the secrets I tell you, all for your ears alone." As he looks, so there he is counting up everything and making sure he's putting everything in his gloves. Slump. Down slumps the whisper phone to your ear, and the old Wunschler whispers and are not very clear since they have come down through a snarkly hose, and he sounds like if he has smallish bees up his nose. "Now I tell you," he says with his teeth sounding gray, "how the Lorax got lifted and taken away. It all started way back, such a long time back." And there's a little boy getting ready to listen to the story about what happened to the Lorax. Way back in the days when the grass was still green and the pond was still wet and the clouds were still clean and the song of the swans rang out in space, one morning I came to this glorious place and I first saw the trees, the truffula trees, the bright colored tufts of the truffula trees, mile after mile in the fresh morning breeze. And see, look, there's all the truffula trees, and there's a person in his wagon. See, look. Yep. And under the trees, I saw brown barbaloots frisking out their barbala suits as they played in the shade and ate truffula fruit. From the rippleless ponds came out the comfortable sound of humming while splashing around. Yep. And look, there's all the fish swimming and all the bears eating fruit from the trees. But those trees, those truffula trees, all my life I've been searching for trees such as these. The touch of the tufts was much softer than silk, and they had the sweet smell of a freshly butterfly milk. I felt a great leaping of joy in my heart. I knew just what to do. I loaded my cart. And look, there's the Wunschler unloading his stuff right there. In no time at all, I had built a small shop. Then I chopped down a truffula tree with one chop. and with great skillful skill, and with great speedy speed, I took the soft tough and I needed a thinid. And see, look. So that's what he did, one chop, and that's what he's making, something like that. Then the instant I finished, I heard a gazump. I looked and I saw something pop out of the stump of the tree I chopped down. It was sort of a man. Describe him? That's hard. I don't know if I can. He was shortish and oldish and brownish and motsy, and he spoke with a voice that was sharpest and bossy. And see, look, there's the Lorax coming out of the tree. So I wonder what's he gonna say. Mister, he said with a sawdusty sneeze, I am the Lorax. I speak for the trees. I speak for the speaks for the trees that have no tongues. And I'm asking you, sir, at the top of my lungs. He was very upset as he shouted and puffed. What's that thing you made out of my truffle of tough? And see, look, there and he's asking him what he made out of that. Look, Lorax, I said, there's no cause for alarm. I chopped just only one tree. I am doing no harm. I'm being quite useful. This is a thinid. A thinid's a fine something that all people need. It's a shirt, a sock, a glove, it's a hat, but it has other uses, yes, far beyond. You can use it for carpets, for pillows, for sheets, or curtains, or covers for bicycle seats. The Lorax said, Sir, you are crazy with greed. There's no one on earth who will buy that full thinid. And see, look, there's the Snorlax admiring it, thinking that's very, very stupid of him. So let's see what happens. But in the next minute, I proved he was wrong. For just that minute, a chap came along, and he thought that the thinid I needed was great. He happily bought it for 39.8. I laughed at the Lorax. You poor stupid guy. You can never tell people what some people will buy. And see, look, there goes the customer going off with that, and the Lorax is not happy with that. And the guy's counting the money, so yeah. I repeat, cried the Lorax, I speak for the trees. I'm busy, I told him. Shut up, if you please. I rushed across the room and in no time at all, built a radio phone. I put in a quick call. I called all my brothers and uncles and aunts, and I said, listen here, here's a wonderful chance for the whole Wanderfund to get mighty rich. Get over here fast. Take the road to North Nitch. Turn left at Wee Hawken. Sharp right as South Stitch. And look, and the guy, and the Lord's trying to stop him, but he's making a quick phone call to his family. So let's see what happens. I wonder how many aunts, uncles, and his brothers have. And no time at all, in the factory I built, the whole Wanderfund was working full tilt, where we were all knitting thinids as busy as bees to sound of the chopping of truffle trees. And there they are getting right to work, and the Lorax is not happy with that. So let's see what happens next. And then, oh baby, oh how my business did grow. Now chopping one tree at a time was too slow, so I quickly invented my super axe hacker, which whacked all 4 truffle trees at one smacker. We were making thinids 4 times as fast as before, and the Lorax, he didn't show up anymore. And see, look, there's the tree chopping down all those trees at once. And there's the factory right there. Wonder what could the Snorlax be? Let's find out. But next week he knocked on my new office door. He snapped, I am the Lorax who speaks for the trees, which you seem to be chopping as fast as you please. But I am also in charge of the brown Barbara Lutes who play in the shade in their Barbara Lute suit and happily lived eating truffle of fruit. Now, thanks to you, the hacking of my trees to the ground, there is not enough truffle of fruit to go around, and my poor Barbara Lutes are getting the crummies because they have gas and no food in their tummies. And see, look, and those poor bears they have not enough fruit to eat. So I wonder what the stars are going to send them to. They loved living here, but I can't let them stay. They have to go find food, and I hope they may. Good luck, boys, he cried and sent them away. I, the once, felt sad as I watched them all go, but business is business, and business must grow, regardless of the crummies and tummies, you know. And so there's this Snorlax sending all of the bears away with their fruit, to find fruit, and there they go. So let's see what happens next. I meant no harm. I mostly, truly did not, but I had to go bigger. So bigger I got, the bigger my factory, the bigger my roads, the bigger my wagons, the bigger the loads of the thnees that shipped out. I would ship them forced to the south, to the east, to the west, to the north. I was right on biggering, selling more thnees, and the bigger my money, which everyone needs. You see, look. See, the factory's got more, and everyone else is like, and there goes everyone else working. So, then again, he came back. I was fixing some pipes when the old nuisance Lorax came back with more grips. I am the Lorax, he coughed and he whiffed. He sneezed and he snuffled, he snarled, he sniffed. Onceler, he cried with a croakus croak. Onceler, you're making such sparkling smoke. My poor swami swans, why they can't sing a note. No one can sing with who has smog in his throat. And see, look, the Snorlax has there's all the smoke that the swans can't sing anymore. And so the Lorax, please pardon my cough. They cannot live here, so I'm sending them off. Where will they go? I don't hopefully know. They may have to fly for a month or a year to escape from the smog you smuggled up around here. And there they go, with the birds going. So, what's more, snapped the Lorax. His dagger was up. Let me say a few words about my glippy glop. Your machinery chugs on day and night without stop, making gluppy glop and also snipply slop. And what do you think with this leftover goo? I'll show you, you dirty old Onceler man, you. And look, he's showing the Onceler what's going on, what's going to happen, as you can see. You're glumping the pond where the hummingfish hummed. No more they can hum, for their gills are all gummed. So I'm sending them off. Oh, their future is dreary. They walk on their fins and get weary in search of some water that isn't so smeary. I hear things that are just as bad as up in Lake Erie. And see, look, the fish can't swim in there, and there's oil all over the place. Wow. That's not good for the fish. And then I got mad. I got terribly mad. I yelled at the Lorax. Now listen here, Dad. All you do is yap, and say bad, 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 bad. Well, I have my rights, sir, and I'm telling you, I intend to go on doing what I do. And for your information, you Lorax, I'm figuring off biggering and biggering, turning more truffle trees into thnees, which everyone needs. And see, look, he's telling the Lorax something. And at that very moment, we heard a loud whack. From outside in the fields came a sickening smack of an axe on a tree. Then we heard the tree fall, the very last truffle tree of them all. And see, look, there's that last truffle tree down. There's no more of them. No more trees, no more thnees, no more work to be done. So in no time, my uncles and aunts and everyone all waved me goodbye. They jumped into my car and drove away under the smoke, smugger stars. Now all that's left was, neath the bad smelling sky, was my big empty factory, the Lorax and I. See, there's everyone going, leaving away. Leaving with their cars, telling him goodbye. Yep. The Lorax said nothing. He just gave me a glance, just a very sad glance. Very sad backwards glance, as he lifted himself by the seat of his pants, and I'll never get the grim look on his face, where he assisted himself and took leave of the place through a hole in the smog without leaving a trace. And see, look, there he goes, right up in that sky, lifting up the seat of his pants. Wow. And all that's left of the Lorax left to hear, and all And all that the Lorax left here in this mess was a small pile of rocks with the word unless, whatever that meant. Well, I just couldn't guess. That was a long, long time ago, but each day since the day, I sat here and worried away through the years while my buildings have fallen apart. I worried about it with all of my heart. So there's the word unless, which we know, but who knows what could that mean, what that means. But now, says the one, so now that you're here, the word of the Lord seems perfectly clear. Unless someone like you, who cares awful lot, nothing's going to get better. It's not. And see, there's the boy standing right there today. And there's the one that's telling him the whole story, what happened. So, catch, says the Onceler. He let out something fall. It's a truffula seed, that last one of all. You're in charge of the last truffula seeds, and the truffula trees are what everyone needs. Plant a new truffula, treat it with care, give it clean water, and feed it fresh air, grow a forest, protect it from axes that hack, and then the Lorax and his friends may come back. And see, look, there's the last truffula seed that the boy's getting. And yeah. That's just like Henry's forest. You gotta take care of the trees, not litter them. So I really do like this book. I highly recommend you should all get this book. So I hope you enjoyed today's story. Bye everyone.